Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome back to Twilight Princess. It's good to be back. It's been a little while, everybody. Sorry about the wait. And well, I mean, it was Christmas break, you know? I took a Christmas break, basically. Not intentionally, but we had, understandably, a whole lot going on, you know? So, back, though. Welcome back. Let's get into it. All right. So, first of all, I will say, speaking of Christmas break, everybody's doing wonderfully. A Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm going to be insisting, as usual, on having and wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas. At the very least, until Epiphany next week. But realistically, I'm gonna be pretty insistent still all the way through February 2nd because I've always done so. Not always done so since I really, at least since I started taking the faith seriously. I think you should too. Because again, I've talked about this before that I think our culture has a bit of a problem when it comes to our holidays, and we have a weird tendency to, how would I put this? We get so caught up in the anticipation of something, typically holidays, but really about anything, that once whatever holiday or festival or whatever it is actually hits, we're already tired of it. Right? Our silly little culture is so caught up in getting ready for Christmas, in what is essentially Advent. Can I warp? I'm too close to everybody. I can't warp. Let me go over there. Because we're so caught up in Christmas season throughout Advent, that we get burnt out by the time Christmas even really starts. And then we definitely are very, very done before Christmas is anywhere close to over. And I think that is the symptom of some of the weirdness of our culture, and a symptom of, and it's, I think, a cause of further symptoms there of a lot of the social and mental problems that we find. I mean, it's, well, the bizarrely long lead up to Christmas. Oh, hey, the postman is one of the reasons for seasonal depression in our culture. Letter from Barnes, the bomb shop guy. Am I gonna have to warp back to Kakariko? Yes, I am. How have you been? Still a bomb enthusiast. I still love bombs. Well, I've got some interesting bombs in, so come by and pick them up. Wait till you see what these babies can do. Barnes of Kakariko. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to... Back to Kakariko. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me for still having a bit of a cough. Still or again, I'm not even quite sure which. It may be a new cough, because this is it's a slightly different kind of a feel of the disease. And it's followed right on the heels of some of the kids also having these persistent coughs. Oh, yeah, maybe I got something new. Anyway. All right. Oh, I guess also Happy New Year. It is 2025 after all. Oh, now it's you. Well, yep, well, finally got my entire bomb repertoire back in order. Got my incense going and it's coming right at my face. Ain't they a bunch of buttes? Alright, now, take a good gander. I want bombings. Oh, bomb buyback program. Okay, whatever. He just runs over him, drops his mask thing down. Uh-huh. What's in 3? 50 bombs. 5. Yeah, I'll get rid of that one. I'll empty that out. Okay. Now I will buy a few bombings. Hell, fill it up. Why not? Cool. I don't know if they're actually, necessary or whatever. So, it may be plot essential. I don't think these are plot essential, like the water bombs, but whatever. I'll get them anyway. Because, Now, I'm sure there's exploration stuff to do with the spinner. But nah, I'm not going to bother with it at the moment. I am going to warp back to Castletown, because I think I have to talk to Telma. I'll go further. Oh my gosh, really? We have to go outside the gate. Okay, good, I can transform here. I just forgot to click the right button. I have to wait until she's done talking, I guess. Alright. Let's go. So. Anyway, in the dumb news lately, I know there's been this big Twitter fight, which I've talked about a little bit on Discord because I thought it's interesting and it's the thing now, where there's this sort of, I guess, splintering in the MAGA coalition, if you will, between the I guess call them America Firsters or the nativists or whatever, and the tech bros. Or maybe just call it the populace and the funders, right? The fundraisers, whatever. however you want to make the division. What's this guy? If you would, for the sake of peace and Hyrule. Yeah, here, 30 rupees, that's fine. May the spirit of love descend on you. If you continue to pray for peace, someday you'll be surrounded with love. Okay. That's good to me. Anyway, though. This is, first of all, the kind of infighting that you expect always happens when a party is largely victorious. Right, so there was a major win. Right, there was the wrong way. There was a major win. Right, Trump won in a shocking landslide victory, followed by or accompanied by a whole lot of honestly rather sudden cultural change. Wokeness seems to be on its way out in a lot of places. Anti-wokeness seems to be a relatively safe position now. I don't know about that in the corporate or government worlds, but culturally speaking, it's shifting. So there is this major sea change in a lot of ways. And so naturally the sort of winning party is going to wind up with some infighting among its various sub-factions, if you will. And it seems like two of those major sub-factions are the populist nativists and the tech bros. Or maybe not the tech bros, maybe the funders, the fundraisers, or whatever. Now, this is the second such major fight. The other fight has been over Israel, and it's been basically the fight between the the America Firsters, again, populist types. And once again, a different group of lobbying types, the Israel lobby, largely speaking. But we also have some more splits going on there in the sort of voter base, at the voter base level, because on the Israel side, there is a large contingent of neocons on the one hand, who mostly have left the Trump camp anyway, but there are a few around. So there's neocons, but then there's also the ridiculously heretical evangelical Protestants who think that Israel is, we are biblically destined to defend Israel or whatever. I say or whatever, like it's like I'm saying this dismissively, but there's a whole thing about this. It's more complex than that, but you know the set of ideas that I'm referring to, generally speaking. Anyway, but yeah, this breakdown has been essentially about guest worker program, not guest worker programs. The guest worker program represented by the H-1B visa, and that's the whole thing, right? The populist MAGA types. Nothing new. Ought to go talk to our friend Ashay. She's up on Hyrule's northern mountain checking things out. She's got good instincts, trust me. If you need detailed directions, take a peek at that map at the table. I'll do that. Thank you. But yeah, it's... So that is the one side, is the more populist types who say that this whole thing is just replacing Americans in jobs. Right? It's the immigrants are taking our jobs, which, I mean, it sounds almost parody-ish when I say it that way, but that's essentially the argument, right? I don't mean to say it dismissively. It's a real concern that real people have, but that is essentially what the argument boils down to. Now, a point that a few people have made, which I think is really salient, is that if you combine these sort of mid-level skill-wise immigrants coming in for the purpose of of accepting jobs, if you combine that with the DEI requirements that are still there in... Okay, hold on. The smoke on my image is so weird because it's cut off here because it's green screen. Anyone else enjoying this? I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry. I got distracted again. But if you combine that with DEI requirements that that give preferential treatment essentially to non-whites and to immigrants and to disenfranchised groups, however we define that, right? That does mean that there are serious governmental pressures against hiring Americans in general, American citizens generally, but more specifically, like straight white males, right? And importing immigrants to replace that labor force is a big deal, and that can be a very serious problem for a lot of people, and that absolutely is. But again, the whole Twitter kerfuffle didn't really acknowledge that, or didn't bring that up until much later. So there's that. That's a major factor that was left out. Anyway, the other side says that we need this high-level talent for America to win, right? For us to do well economically, we need this outside talent that is going to make us better off. And there's a solid argument there as well, right? That free trade helps all parties involved, which it generally does. Again, setting aside the fact that we don't have free trade, we have trade that is trade in labor, essentially, that is tightly restricted by DEI requirements and things like that. Essentially by the what's the term? That interpretation of the 1968 Civil Rights Act, the disparate outcomes doctrine. That's it. That's a major issue. All right. Anyway, I'll go back to this in a minute. Let's talk to Russell. Back to the game. I'm gathering information now as well, so I will let you know if I hear something. Okay. Map. Shay mentioned Snow Peak Mountain. Headed off. Okay, so I have to go from, what, Zora's domain? Odd. At the moment, I'm absolutely entranced by the sky beings known as the Uka. Yes, according to the legends, Hyrule was made by the Hylians, who, as we all know, are the closest race to the gods. But also, according to legend, long ago there was a race even closer to the gods, and some say these creatures made the Hylians. When they created the people of Hylia, they simultaneously created a new capital, a city that floated in the heavens. They dwelt there, and some scholars believe that this race lives there still, somewhere in the great sky. Sky beings, isn't that simply marvelous, old boy? What I wouldn't give to meet them. I have to wonder how this connects exactly to Skyward Sword, where we meet sky beings who are Hylians. They're not funky little bird folk. Some of them do have slightly bird-like features, but they're not the Uka. I actually don't know how that connects. I've read Hyrule Historia, and it's not overly explicit on how that works. Say, Link, you're alive and well. Tell me, did you find anything of interest at the Arbiter's grounds in the desert? The sages. Those sages once served the royal family, actually. They were appointed as tutors to the young Princess Zelda. It was from them that I first heard of tales of the accursed mirror in the Arbiter's grounds. Alright. Well, Zora's Domain it is. Let's warp. Anyway. One of the points, another point, I suppose, that I've had to make here, regarding all of those, is that both sides are falling into some rather collectivist sorts of errors. Right? One side is repeatedly insisting on wanting America to win, and is never quite clear. Never quite makes clear what exactly that means. What is America, and what are these win conditions? What are we defining as America? And this has led to the sort of populist side raising the objection that, well, America isn't an economic zone; it's a nation, and nations have peoples, and so there is a people that we're talking about here. It's not just America is not just an economic zone, right? Okay. Meanwhile, the more populist side has been saying, well, we want these jobs and whatnot to go to our people. We want our people to be better off, and not just whoever we happen to import. Okay, fair enough on its surface, but both of these encounter roughly the same problem. And both of them are, broadly speaking, issues having to do with collectivism, which is metaphysically unsound. Right? And so my question to each would be something like this: to the populist types, what defines my people as my people in particular? Like, who are my people? Are my people my race? Are my people American citizens? Are my people what? My community? Whatever I define that as. It's never defined carefully. And any definition that I've seen someone try and make, even the more intellectual types on the populist right, Orrin McIntyre, for example, will on the one hand define my people as Americans. Right, so presumably meaning citizens, right? People who are American, who have roots here in America, and treat this as their sort of home nation and their home people and all that sort of thing. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't mean to do that. Right, so there's that. Then also we've got, how do I put this? He also tends to, at the same time, for example, in one of these, in a recent podcast where he talked about this. Oops. He then went on later in that very same podcast to talk about how so many of the people who are defending these H-1Bs are, culturally speaking, Californians. Not going to argue. The Californian people are a people unto themselves. The problem is, those are Americans, by almost any reasonable definition. But they're absolutely not part of my people, culturally speaking, like at all. I share very little with California, except most of a language, and a national government, or sorry, a federal government. I gotta be precise here. And so, like, are Californians my people or not? McIntyre, for example, seems to think that they are on the one hand, because they're Americans and they should be preferred over foreigners, but at the same time that they're not, in the sense that it's their cultural problems that are leading to so many of these woes, which true on that front. And so what this amounts to is essentially the claim which I have made explicitly and implicitly for a very long time, and many others have made too. This isn't exclusive to me in any way. But it's that America, or the United States of America, is not a nation. It is a collection of, some will say 5, some will say 50, some will say more, separate individual nations. It's probably somewhere in between. You can probably group states together, and honestly, those nations probably don't really shake out on state lines perfectly either. Like, coastal Florida is very different from inland Florida. Like, where I grew up is very, very culturally different from where I am now, for example. Texas. What more can I say? Right? New York. What more can I say? In any case, though, these are essentially separate nations, separate groups of people with different cultures, with different linguistic characteristics, if not different languages entirely. And so these are different peoples, and therefore with different group loyalties as well. Like, I would say that, for example, okay, let's put it this way. The populist right would say that if, as an American, it would be wise of me and prudent of me and broadly speaking ethical of me to prefer my people to foreigners, particularly, say, when we're talking about like hiring practices, right? If I had a business and I'm looking to hire somebody, I should prefer a fellow American to an imported worker, an Indian or a Mexican, are usually the two groups that get talked about. Okay, let's say you're right. All the more so, I should prefer a Floridian to a Californian, or fellow Floridian to a Californian. Because Floridians are my people. Californians are really not. They're really not. And we wind up with the same cultural problems in Florida with this massive importation of Californians and Californian culture. All right, I'll shut up for a minute. Sweat thing. Link. Oh, it's her. What brings you to a dangerous place like this? Ever since Zora's domain got covered in ice, this mountain's been much colder than usual, yeah? Not only that, but I heard a really weird story from the Zoras. Apparently, the beast that lives somewhere on this mountain has been seen frequently in Zora's domain. I like her outfit, it's very cool. No, cool, pardon the pun. The sword and everything, it's neat. I was curious, so I came and waited, and as they said, a giant appeared. Yeah, it looked like this. A sketch. Ooh. Here's the creature Ashay saw holding a red fish. Show it to people. Might get some information. Apparently, this thing's been stealing red fish from the village. I want to investigate further, but I can't even see the path through this blizzard yet. I'm sure they're here because you're curious about the mountain. But you best not go without a plan. Maybe my wolf senses might do it? A thought. Keep in mind, I have not played this game in going on 10 years, so. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. I don't know how I'm gonna get it back up there. Oh, that's how I get back up there. Okay, I was concerned for a sec. Yes, essentially the Helcaraxe. This really makes traversing grinding ice seem far easier than it really is. Whereas this was actually very difficult in Ocarina and Majora's Mask. Something tells me I'm just going to get turned around. Emilio Diaz says, trying to use... Yeah. What a terrible storm. Looks like you're not welcome here. Look, I understand that the mirror is hidden somewhere on this mountain, but we need a plan. You know, that story that Ashay told about the beast. What do you think about that? Think you should show that sketch to the Zoras and see what they have to say? Yeah, probably. Can I transform, please? I'm assuming I could move quicker. Yeah, I can. Look at that. Heck yeah. Eh. I'm gonna try fishing. So, Emil A. Diaz says, trying to unionize a nation as one while being a free nation is like trying to ask a herd of chickens to walk in a straight line. Yeah, I see the problem. I see what you're getting at. I do think that there is such an issue, right? I think that there is a problem there. But at the same time, I don't think that a nation can only be held together by force, which is what that sort of seems to be implying. Right, so I don't think that it can only really be held together by force. I think a free people can be held together as a nation, voluntarily, non-coercively, but that not ours, not the United States. It's that the United States is just too, not to use a question-begging term, but it's too multicultural, it's too regional, and quite frankly, it's just too big. The United States is an empire. It is not a a nation in really any way, in any meaningful way. And it's a nation state in the sense that it's a political union, but like when people say that, oh, the United States isn't it's not just an economic zone, it's a nation. No, it's a nation state. The only thing that holds the United States together is threats of force by the U.S. military. That's it. And we have historical evidence of this, obviously. Excuse me. If the United States military had not enforced this union, it wouldn't be united anymore. We would have split up as a nation nearly 150 years ago. Nearly? No, more than 150 years ago at this point. So, yeah, no, it's not a nation in that sense. Hey, what's this? The fish this beast has. Prince Rallis is quite skilled at catching that type of fish. Oh, Prince, where could you be by now? I have to go to Kakariko, don't I? Is it a Poe? It is. And that's a bug. Sweet. Oh, hey, a redfish. Right there. I see a redfish. What if I can catch it without bait? I'll probably need bait. Come here. Bug. Got it. Sweet. Now, I will say, though, that isn't to say that the only problem is on that side, right? Because the tech pros have their own problem, right? Which I will say that the populists do sort of point out to some degree that Kakariko, that when they say they want America to win, it's not exactly clear there what America is referring to. Elon Musk has used the analogy of a sports team, which is a little bit wonky, because that, of course, implies that it is a purely nominal conception of the nation. And there's nothing essential about it aside from the name, which I'm a little bit sympathetic to, but not entirely. I'm sympathetic to, at least with respect to the United States, because I do think the United States is a governmental union. That's it. But that aside, right? The other thing about this is that it's, if we were to say, for example, if we were to ask, okay, well, we want America to win. Part of the problem with that is, again, it's, if we're simply referring to the economic zone, okay, sure, whatever. Who cares? Who cares if America, by that definition, wins? Right? But there is a real sense in which, yeah, we do want sort of America to win, and that's the sense that we want us, whatever our people is, which again brings us back to that problem. We want our people to do well economically. And I do think that I will say that the populist right tends to, especially even the sort of rad-trad traditional right, tends to dismiss economic well-being way too quickly, because it is far more important than a lot on the right give it credit for, especially the sort of traditionalist Catholic right, Christian right generally, but Catholic right especially, tend to unnecessarily or unduly dismiss the importance of economic prosperity. But I digress. There's a reason to want America to win, if that just means that we're going to be doing well economically. Again, we, though, is still really vague, and that's kind of a problem, right? The other issue with this, aside from defining who America, who or what America is to define winning here, right? If winning is something like American companies doing well, okay, that might be useful, it might not. If winning is total gross GDP increasing, then that is the very silly and honestly outright dismissible in most cases, but I'll use it here for illustration purposes. That is just the line go up fallacy, which is what a lot of these sort of, especially more religious, more cultural right figures will write off as, well, economic prosperity doesn't matter because all it is line go up, right? And what they're talking about is gross GDP, right? But if that's winning, if that's what we mean by winning, then yeah, that's dumb. But that's not what most people mean by winning, and I have to assume that's not what, Elon and Vivek and all these people mean. Now maybe we mean what, GDP per capita, right? Or maybe what we mean is a well-ordered society, right? And that includes economic prosperity, but it also includes a lot of other factors. Is the common good, which, I mean, ultimately, again, I would argue, I haven't argued this in writing, in publication, I should, that the common good, as it's vaguely understood by Aquinas and by Thomists, essentially boils down to freedom. It boils down to political freedom. That's it. Because the common good is essentially the preconditions for a flourishing life. The social or sociocultural preconditions, let's say, for living a flourishing life. And that essentially just means, ultimately, freedom. That's what common good is then. And so for the government to pursue the common good is a simple contradiction in terms. So long as you mean by the government, you mean the state. Monopoly on force. So, no, the state is inimical to the common good, almost by definition. Not almost. I think it is by definition, if you define the state properly as a Rothbardian, as the social institution with a legal monopoly on the initiation of violence, then yeah, absolutely. Contrary to the common good, by necessity. Now, governance is not, and that's a separate thing, but anyway. All of this is sort of a side issue. But winning here is so poorly defined that represents a big problem on the side of the tech bros. Both here, like I said, are far too vaguely defining their groups. Because groups are only ever a shorthand anyway for individuals doing or flourishing or what have you. Groups are just a shorthand for talking about lots of individuals at once, metaphysically speaking. Right? There is no metaphysical sense in thinking of groups as things in themselves, as substances. It's incoherent nonsense. It's reifying secondary substances, which going all the way back to Aristotle, even there are hints of this even in Plato, sort of. Plato was a little bit of a collectivist in times, but even still. Certainly to Aristotle, secondary substances, that is, collections of things, do not have essences of their own, do not have causal power, do not have ends. No, they don't. They're only representative of the collected ends, collected powers, and collected substantial features and characteristics of their constituent individual members. That's it. That's all that exists is individual people. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about the well-being of persons. And if that's what we're talking about, then great, let's do that. Let's talk about that. And again, the common good, the precondition for that well-being is freedom. And then a lot of what that winds up meaning in the concrete gets more difficult because we're not in that state. We are so far from maintaining the common good that any attempt to jump straight to it is going to be an issue. So we have to figure out how to gradually attain that. And that means that we're going to have to work within this veil of tears, government-imposed veil of tears, to fix problems as we find them and as we see them without making other problems worse. Trade-offs. Link. What would my mother have taught me? I still have so little confidence in myself. What can a pitiful Zora like me do? Tell me what this is. Can I target you and show it to you? There you go. The beast man of the snowy mountains, perhaps? Yeah. More important is the red fish it's holding. Huh. More important, really. Okay. It must be reek fish. That is a rare specimen found only in the Zora village. It feeds on a valuable type of coral. Without that bait, even our best fishers cannot catch one. Look closely, Link. My earring is made of this coral. Oh, cool. I'd like to give it to you. Can you believe it? Fishing has a plot-relevant function. Coral earring. In the shape of a fish hook. Who would have ever thought? Added as a hook for your fishing rod, and you can now catch a reek fish. I received it from my mother. But it's fine. I no longer need it. As I look at you, I get a sense of what my mother wanted, what I should be doing now. I'll return to my village. Me too. The reek fish can be found near the mother and child rocks in the waterfall basin near my village. The fish are red, so I think you should be able to spot them. Okay. Can I warp here? Okay. Someone will see you. Yeah, I know. The kid. Whatever. There's enemies nearby. Watch me not care. Doggy battle. Anyway, I don't know. That's probably about all I have to say or to think on the matter. It's a difficult, complex topic, but at the same time, like, it really is relatively straightforward what the errors are, what's causing all these problems. And it's careless collectivization. I thought that was a fish. But it's not. It's a guy. Oh, look, a reek fish. I see one. Oops. Wrong button. I hit the action button again, don't I? I see you. That's a salmon. Nibble. Oh. Darn. Missed him. Come here, reekfish. I really would like to catch you. To attract an abominable snowman. I assume. I assume that's what I'm doing. Yay. Come here, fish. Wow, 26 inches. It reeks. That is 100% a salmon. Look, that is a river salmon. Wait, I didn't catch it? Oh, I need to smell it. That's why. Yeah. Learned the reek fish scent. What a powerful smell I've discovered. Okay. I want that. Oh wait, I already got this one. I need its partner fish. Go that way, right? Yeah, over there. It's weird that it's connected by a tunnel. I mean, it's a gameplay thing, I guess. It's a game map thing. I've mentioned before how much I actually really like Link's standard little side stroke thing that he does. It's not technically a side stroke, but whatever you call that. It's an incredibly energy efficient way of swimming, I have found. Huh. Also notable that the very fascinating. Anyway, the very subtle music that's going on here is very reminiscent of Midden's Lament. It's the same opening notes, at least. God, that took a whole heart. Okay. Let's transform. Aha. There goes the stink. Go ahead and avoid these guys. This way, right? Yeah, this way's up. Oh, frozen keys. Ah! Wow, okay. Ooh. Oh, what a view. By the way, this is the view from the thumbnail, basically, except it's from down there, looking over here. The wolf is up here howling. What a view. Oh, jeez. No? How off was I? There it is. That was close. Hello, hero of time. Oh, shoot. Maybe I've dropped a piece of incense. Uh-oh. Or that will be fine. I just need to vacuum here at some point anyway. Incense is not the messiest thing, at least. This sort. Resin incense, not. Alright. Teachings of old pass to you. Take sword in hand and find me. Jumped to Death Mountain. Alright, next time we unlock a warp spot. Oh, it's not Death Mountain, it's in the graveyard. Easy peasy. Next time we unlock a warp spot, we'll do that. Dig, 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 dig. What's up with these? I'm assuming don't touch them? And why do I need that? So, Emil says, I believe winning in America is defined as not relying too much on other parts of the world to sustain our own. I mean, sure, but again, we wind up with issues involving trying to define collectives here, right? And also, that is I don't want to say this, but that's kind of a dumb goal, right? Um, it ignores, oh, darn it. It ignores a lot of very important economic realities, like, the obvious ones, like what was it, like Ricardo's ideas about the benefits of trade and that sort of thing, mutual benefits of trade, comparative advantage, things like that, things which are just objective and like undeniable, right? That we are made better off by trading widely. And by we here, I mean each particular individual is made better off by trading widely. Um, we're essentially expanding our capabilities by expanding the capabilities of by including, I guess I should say, the capabilities of those we are willing to trade with, right? So that issue is we'll set that up on the side. Like I have no problem at all with specialization and international trade. Absolutely a free trader with respect to that. I don't think we shouldn't be. I think that it would be very foolish not to be. Um, Insofar as Trump wants to implement tariffs for the purpose of negotiating freer trade relationships and getting other countries to lower their tariffs, fine. I don't know if it'd work. I'm not sure how well that would work, but if it works, awesome. Fantastic. If he just wants it for protectionist reasons, that's dumb. That is very dumb. That is trying to kill your enemy by shooting him through your own body. Don't do that. The email says, if we were able to focus more on harnessing our strengths to create the very things we spend millions from importing on the daily, the money could be well spent repairing the ignored damage we've been ignoring for so long. One of the many benefits. We wouldn't save. That's the problem, right? But by importing, we gain, right? We gain more than we lose by importing, because we're importing and exporting, right? Now this is distorted wildly by the dollar's status as both a fiat currency backed by military weapons, essentially, combined with being the world reserve currency, basically, to the extent that it still is. That distorts matters quite a bit because most of what we export is debt. Realistically, we export dollars. And that creates all kinds of weird trade imbalances as well. It's very likely that is not an arrangement that's going to last for all that much longer, at least on a world historical level. We'll see how long it does, and we'll see what effects happen afterwards. I'm no economist; I can't tell you specifics, unfortunately. I do know that it would cause all sorts of wacky, what would appear to be weird distortions, which is really the market snapping back to where it sort of ought to be in equilibrium. But the other point here, right, is that we still wind up with this problem of who is us and who is them, right? If us is those territories which are ruled and controlled by Washington, D.C., right, the American Empire, essentially, then that particular arrangement being self-sufficient is irrelevant for nationalistic or cultural reasons, unless you're arbitrarily going to decide that this whole thing is a nation, right? Which, by almost any definition of a nation, it basically doesn't qualify unless you're talking about, strictly speaking, the post-Westphalian nation state. If you're defining the nation by the state, but then also, in what way do we? Let me ask it this way as well: should I be concerned about or maybe not? Should I? To what degree should I be concerned about my state, Florida, being able to sustain itself independently from other states? Or, hell, my town, my community, being able to sustain itself independently of other towns, other places, around the state, around the country, around the world. Right? And maybe there's a benefit to some degree of localism, but not to an extreme. Taking it to an extreme, all you get is not hyperspecialization, the lack of specialization, which leads to poverty. I mean, which is really the example we've had for most of human history. Hey, Puff Puff, how you doing? Oh, great. I have the choice of high snow or ice. Delightful. I'm a Floridian. I'm not designed for this sort of thing. Oh, well, okay, there we go. Oh, you Puff Up. You've never played this one? Oh, I love it. It's... I don't know if I can justifiably say that it is my favorite. But it's absolutely one of my favorites. Oh, shoot. There we go. Problem solved. It's absolutely one of my favorites. Oh, you've only played the two more recent ones, the open world ones. Okay, they're very, very, very different from this one and most Zelda games before it. This one is very, very heavily inspired by Ocarina of Time, which is really the traditional 3D Zelda game. And then further, I would probably say that A Link to the Past is the prototypical 2D Zelda game that a lot of the other ones sort of emulate. Which, by the way, I didn't realize that A Link to the Past had a recent remake. I forgot about that. The one with the little the toy style animation. I don't want because we just got a Switch. Just got a Switch. And I was kind of wanting to get that version for the kids, so they can have their first Zelda experience. Because they know about Link. They like Link as a character because he's in a bunch of other things, a bunch of other Nintendo stuff. So. They haven't actually played a dedicated Zelda title. So, man, that might be on the list at some point. Although I don't know, Saoirse, our oldest, is 6, so that's a little young, even for basically Link to the Past. My first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time. And that I played when I was, I think it was 8, 7 or 8, something like that. A little bit older than she was. I gotta say, there were parts of it that were deeply frightening. That I talked about that. I talked about it back then. So Puff says they're supposed to port Twilight Princess to the Switch soon. I don't know. They might just wait till the Switch 2, which there's rumors that it's coming out next year. And this would be a good, I don't know about launch title for the Switch 2, but close to launch. It'd be a good one. They might be working on it. I'm wondering. I'd like to see it. If nothing else, it should be on the classic thing, which I haven't gotten yet. I haven't shelled over the extra 30 whatever dollars for the year of that for the Switch Online Plus bonus cool thing. I don't know. I wanna. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. We'll see. I'll probably wind up doing it at some point, but not right away. We just spent a bunch of money on Christmas, Wait a little bit. Okay, so Metaphor ReFantasio, maybe. I don't know. Some things I've seen about it look really cool. Some things I've seen about it seem a little, I don't know, edgy for edgy's sake, subversive, that sort of thing. I may or may not like it. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Can't believe they gave Prince Sidon a fiance in Tears of the Kingdom. Was heartbreaking. What? You're not one of those Link Sidon shippers, are you? Come on, don't do that. That's silly. Link and Zelda. Everyone knows that. Or except in this game. This game is the only exception where it's Link and Zelda. And I guess in that way it's similar to Ocarina, in which Link's canon, who he ends up with, at least in one of the major endings, is Malon. So, I don't know. Anyway, Yamil asks, do you think America became too diverse? That it would, or if America became too diverse, it would essentially become its own enemy in the near future. It already is to a large degree. Politics is essentially a low temperature civil war, especially in the form that it takes right now. The political divides, especially the coastal urban versus midland rural kind of divide, is essentially insurmountable. And the only thing keeping these things together is, once again, the military might of the state. Otherwise, we would absolutely be at least two separate nations. Realistically, a lot more than that. It's a big fish you got there. Whoa! I heard ruckus and, just a human. I see humans not often, huh? Why, a human come to snows. Oh, you on spiritual journey. You look for true self? No, actually. You look for a mirror in such a faraway place. But you make good climb, and you're lucky to meet me. I found shiny mirror piece. Same mirror you look for, huh? Probably. You come to house and see yourself. I caught fish. I make you hot meal at least. My house far away. We slide there, huh? You like me. Come. Awesome. That's... At least take two of them, you... Okay. Okay. This is a very fun sequence. And I'm not going to be able to reread the chat for the next few minutes, so I apologize in advance. Because we're snowboarding, guys. No, this is my third playthrough, actually. So I played it when it first came out. I think only once. And then I played it through once when it came out on Wii U. I did play the Wii U version. I don't know if it's a separate I don't know if you'd call it a separate version. Wee! Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. Okay, cool. And we're off. Okay, cool. But yeah, so this is, I think, my third playthrough. I think. Third-ish. I don't need to go super fast this time. I know there are shortcuts, but I'm kind of ignoring a lot of them. Except for this. This is going to be really cool. What? That totally worked! What are you talking about? Okay, whatever. It was right near the end, too. Bullshit. Anyway. I can see Yeti's house from there. Oh yeah, this. I will absolutely agree. This game was ahead of its time for the GameCube era. I mean, it was the beginning of the Wii, to be fair. This was a Wii release title, but it was still essentially a GameCube game. It had a relatively well optimized Wii version, but that's all. It was only a Wii version. It was not like designed with the Wii in mind, really. Motion controls were super rudimentary. The graphics weren't exactly optimized for the Wii. I will say the Wii didn't really hit its stride until Mario Galaxy. Oh, come on. I think Mario Galaxy was really the first Wii game that really pushed the system to really show what it could do. It was either Mario Galaxy or Metroid Prime 3. Metroid Prime, I forget which one came first, but those two were the ones I was absolutely, utterly impressed by. Nintendo systems get so much out of their first party titles. Ooh, I don't need that. How do I put this away? I don't want my sword out. Okay. Anyway. I was saying, though, Nintendo gets a lot Oh, jeez. Okay. A lot of mileage out of the first-party titles, much more so than third-party stuff. Other developers do not know the hardware well enough, I think, for most Nintendo systems, because their hardware is, to be perfectly fair, Nintendo hardware tends to be relatively weak compared to other makers, other hardware developers. So, you know, like, I mean, obviously the GameCube was the weakest of its generation. The Wii was the weakest of its generation by far. The Switch is essentially a mobile console that plugs into your TV. But damn, is it an impressive one. I will say that much. There we go. Made it. Just go. Anyway, like I said, Nintendo hardware tends to be weaker, and so it's got a reputation. That also means that it has, you know, that most people tend to have lower standards for Nintendo hardware, for especially for third-party games. But boy, can Nintendo get a lot out of that weak hardware for their own first-party titles, like Zelda, like I said, Mario Galaxy, so good. It was a very good game, but even aside from it being a really good game, the graphics, the environments, the physics, all of that was very impressive for a Wii title. The same absolutely goes for Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. It was really good. Corruption was good. It was great. It's my favorite Metroid game, I think. I've not played the newest one, obviously. Again, it's for Switch. There we go. But Dread, I think. I can't imagine liking it better. Mostly just because Corruption was just so delightfully environmental. Okay, that's fine. Here. What's with this guy? He's got a nice place for a beast man. He sure does, doesn't he? Do I get a warp here? Or am I gonna have to take the snowboard down every time? Every time I want to come and visit. Okay. I shouldn't need my guide for this, but I've got it just in case. Cool. Yeah, Poe. Snow Peak Ruins. I've always loved, first of all, this place. Very cool. Pun not intended. But especially, I especially like that, excuse me, so many of the dungeons in this game are not just like traditional Zelda dungeons. They're all very much places, like diegetic places that fit into the world, that make sense, that have their really, really cool, unique aesthetics. Oh, I don't think I need that. Do I? Okay, never mind. That's the Zora Queen. What? That's creepy. Nah, it's not creepy. It's just a little odd. Okay, never mind. I guess I have to go through the doors. Too close, man. Oh. Sorry. I have sickness. Come closer, Okay. How's sick? You cute little human. Husband told me you come. You want to look at mirror, huh? My husband found it. Pretty thing, huh? But since I get mirror, I get sick. And then bad monsters appear. So many bad things happen since mirror. So we lock bedroom on 3rd floor where it hangs, huh? Wait, I tell you where key is. Cool. Oh, gosh, excuse me. Maybe I shouldn't have incense going with this cough, but I love the smell. Otherwise, very calming. Green rooms, yep, blah, 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 I know. Okay. Fever makes head blurry, but you're probably here in room marked by this symbol. That symbol, okay. Yamil says, I believe Nintendo would dominate if they made more original horror-based games. They know how to get just creepy enough in some of their games. Have you feel on edge? You know, like this one? Yeah, they could do it. They can do it. The problem is that, like, they're too family-oriented, you know? The reason I can't see Nintendo doing a real serious horror game is because Nintendo first-party titles are always kid-friendly. And if your 10-year-old can't play it, then it's really weird for a first-party Nintendo title. So, I mean, I think that it could be really, really good. But, like, I don't see Nintendo doing it, unfortunately. Honestly, I bet they could pull off even a T-rated, really, really unsettling horror game. They could avoid all of the overly mature content and still make something that's deeply scary that not kids could enjoy, because kids would be, you know, kids would be like actually traumatized by it, but like, you know, like teenagers could play and be genuinely frightened by, or even young teen, like even maybe preteens, that sort of thing. But like a T-rated atmospheric horror game, ooh, that's Legend of Zelda. That's Metroid could do that sort of thing. Like, even if it's not a major franchise, things like Zelda games like this, things like Metroid Dread, things like Metroid Prime 3, things like, I mean, Luigi's Mansion. There's some creepiness to Luigi's Mansion. I mean, it's played for comedy mostly, but twisted a little bit. Yeah. You could even do something original. They could absolutely do something original. And just have it be that kind of niche. I think there's a niche in the market for Nintendo to do, like, not kid-friendly, but T-rated horror games. Because that's a hole in the market that Nintendo could absolutely dive straight into. Right now, I can't even get up. Would you bring it to me? Start with door right there. Do I have to? I was going to go back the other way. I mean, it's your house, though. I will listen. Oh, you! Wife look bad, not healthy since mirror. So I make soup for her. Fish from Zora Village are most nutritious. So tired, you have some. I give you energy. Okay, I think I will. Let's drink this real quick. Thanks. Love me some soup. Soup's my favorite thing. Soup is my favorite food. I don't know if I've mentioned that. Oh, 2 hearts. Okay. Well, could be better. Hey. Bop! Hey, Uku. Phew, free at last. See, when I played this, the map and then Uku were just very gradually starting to tell me that, wait, this is a dungeon? Like, I thought this was like the pre-dungeon area. Like, we were gonna go through into their house and then, oh, they have a basement or something that was gonna lead into the dungeon or something. I was like blown away to think that this was actually the dungeon. Anyway, I will be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. I'll leave you with Yeti. Yeto? It's Yeti, right? With this guy. I'll see you in a few minutes. I'll just see you in just a couple minutes. Okay, I am back. All right. Sorry about that. Yamil said it's unfair, but you're absolutely right. We can have a kid-friendly version of Hunger Games, aka Fortnite, ported on Switch, but games that are too scary are out of the question. Not even okay, I'll even go further than that. Fortnite is, if not an adaptation of the Hunger Games, it's an adaptation of Battle Royale, which is what Hunger Games is an adaptation of, right? So if you go back further, there was a much darker, um, bit of media that is the sort of origin for that trope, I guess you'd say. Um, it's not Hunger Games exactly. In any case, though, whatever. Your point is well taken. Your point's well taken. That is a rather extreme and pointless arena of violence that is totally fine in horror games, for that demographic, that audience. I don't know, man. I probably, honestly, I wasn't a big horror buff when I was a kid, so I don't know if I'd have gone all about it, but there's definitely a market for it. Anyway. Interesting. So, I was also just reminded, for no particular reason, aside from it I don't know, I was in the bathroom. That's not good. Okay. I was reminded of a particular I remember now. Okay, I know how to do this. A particular practical joke my dad used to do. I know I've never done this because it's wildly unsafe and get you shot these days. But when my dad was a kid, by kid I mean teenager. And by teenager I mean hooligan. He would take he'd go into like public restrooms, and he usually did this at a truck stop if he lived in Indiana in the middle of nowhere, and truck stop is where he did funny bullshit back in when he was a teenager in like the 70s. So what he did was you'd go into a public restroom, into the stall, wait for somebody to sit down next to you. And once they're committed, so to speak, then what you do is you take your toilet paper, the end of your toilet paper, and you get ready. You're about to commit to action. So take your toilet paper in your hand. You take your lighter, and you light the end of the toilet paper so it's nice and on fire, and then you just start hurling it, the entire roll, just unspooling it over the top onto them, into the stall next to you, into the guy next to you. And so he basically has a roll of toilet paper very quickly being fed over the wall of the stall divider, which is on fire, and that fire is being constantly and continuously fed by more and more and more toilet paper. Now you can burn down a building like this, so really do not do this. Absolutely don't do this. But I think it's really funny. Like, just the image of this is hilarious. Like I said, though, don't do this. It's a really bad idea. This is the kind of shit you could absolutely get away with in like the 70s, but now, no. No, absolutely not. Oh, hey, that's where the mirror is locked. God, this is so cool. Okay. Imagine this place. Imagine this place in good shape. Man. I'd love to live in this place if it were, intact. I mean, I say that, but it's a bit remote in terms of location. What's that sound? What's scary? So wait, what about this dungeon destroyed your brain as a kid? The fact that it was so strange for a dungeon, or just something about the layout, or what do you think? Because I can see it being, you know, wacky. Wacky to navigate. But then also, maybe more so, it's interesting to me, like I was saying earlier, just the layout and the puzzles. Okay, I was going to say the fact that it is that just their house is the dungeon. Oh, come on, man. And the dungeon is not, you know, a place behind their house or an ice cave underneath their house or whatever. You know, that's absolutely what I was expecting. Oh, boy. Don't hit me yet, please. Oh, hello. Ah. Got him. All right, excellent. But yeah, we'll see how I do on some of these puzzles, because it has been a little while. Okay. It can't be that easy. Something horrible's about to happen. I was right. Ice demons! Yeah, bastard. That works. Okay. Ah, good. I also could not believe I was already getting to the boss key. But I'm not. What's this? This isn't right. She got the wrong location. Want to go back and try to get her to remember where the key is? Yeah, let's try again. I got a pumpkin, though. And it's from my nice Ordon village. Nice hometown. Oops. I'm all drank my soup. I'm missing 2 hearts. Perfect time to drink my soup. Love me some soup. Soup's good. Love soup. Interesting. Okay, then. Oh, that was close. This way. More soup. Oh, would I like for the official Zelda timeline to branch out again? I'd be fine with it. The precedent's already there. I don't see an issue. Simple soup. Fish broth. Yeah, I would be perfectly fine with it doing another branch out. Okay. Yeah. You okay? You find it, what? Pumpkin? But why there? Sorry. Husband in kitchen right now. Take Pumpkin to him. I try to remember. Oh, he's gonna want the pumpkin. He's gonna make a better soup, so I should eat this soup so he can give me better soup. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Yeti. Can I talk to you? What flavor? Your pumpkin. Okay. Pumpkin. Thanks, You taste if you want. I'll have some more of your last soup for a minute. Love soup. Soup's good. Good night, email. See you next time. Good soup. Drinky. Want some more? Okay. What's next? Alright, let's go back to Yetta. What's her name, right? Hey, Baze, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a while. Sorry for all the delays, but you know, Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way. Ain't stopping. Can't stop me. It says I wrapped up the semester, went to New York, just got over being ill. All good. How about myself? Yeah, I'm doing all right. All of us, kids included, have been bouncing around being semi-ill, but mostly it's just been a persistent cough. So, not bad. You gave Pumpkin? Thank you, I maybe remember. Could be that room, I think. That room, huh? Okay. Okay. That's quite the room to get to. Yeah. Check room I marked on map, I gotta go that way. First, I'll go this way. I'm gonna go through that side door, or let's see if I can. This one. See what this is about. Oh, well. Bottomless pit, huh? Okay. Try a couple of alternative solutions here. That's not a track, is it? Nope. Okay, never mind. Good to know. Well, I'm glad I checked, regardless. Ah! Bring it on. Ah! Come on. Come on. Oh. Wow, that does nothing. Okay. What the hell? Okay. I know what I need. Can't get through there. I need the cannonball. Yeah, a cannonball. Not the ball on chain. Actual cannonball. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that was close. Bastard almost got me. Uh-huh. Okay. Doesn't seem right, but okay. Okay, there's the cannon. There's another cannon. I'll wait for it to get close, and then I'll lethal draw the bastard. That's my go-to technique for most creatures. Really? Doesn't work, okay. That works. That didn't help me at all. Okay. I need the cannon. Ah! Too close to the thing. We already talked about the Billy Carson versus Wes Huff drama? I have no idea. What kind of drama is this? It might be. This isn't about the H-1B visas and stuff, is it? Ah, 2 for 1. Nice. Still escalating. Wes Huff will be on Joe Rogan's podcast. Fascinating. I have, quite frankly, no idea what you're talking about. Cannon manual. Insert iron. Continue. Put in explosion. Oh, I need bombs. Okay, that makes sense. Bombs to launch it. Okay, well, I killed it, at least. No, that one. Can you give me a summary? Because I might have heard it. I just don't exactly know who either of these people are. Cool. Need a chest. Wes Huff or Billy Carson. Can I angle it? To, like, stop? No, I can't do angles. Okay, good to know. Only right angles. Boom. Oh, I can be right next to it. Okay. I was a bit concerned about that. Okay, I guess I don't need it. I guess I just go. Interesting. Uh-oh. It's really bad. There we go. Enjoy that. So, what is the nature of the drama? Oh, that's a claw-shot target. See on the wall. Not gonna let her be, huh? Okay, what is it this time? Huh. Okay. Compass. I'll take it. Ah! Hi, Phoenix's daughter. Hello. I say hello too. Oh, bottomless pit. I'm gonna not go down there. Okay. Can I go up? No, I don't think so. No reasonable way for me to go up. Okay, so... Oh, the red dots are cannonballs. I see, okay. Okay, so Billy Carson is a crazy conspiracy theorist. Made millions trashing Christianity. As an expert on ancient manuscripts. He had a discussion with Wes Huff, who's exposed as having no knowledge at all. Wait, so the guy trashing Christianity actually knows something for once? That's different. I have no idea, though. I'm not familiar with the situation enough to actually say anything. I might have to assume they're both a bit loony. Throw some hearts. Oh, so no methodology, not no knowledge. Okay. I mean, that's different enough, yeah. Come on. My lethal draw isn't doing it. Nothing's doing it, man. These bastards. That seems like a waste. That didn't... Okay, whatever. I don't need to get past there. But there's no cannon. I guess I have to wait until I get the ball and chain. Damn it. Phoenix says, conspiracy theorists, Christianity killed 1 billion people in the year 1094 BCE. And on the year ADE, 13... What? ADE 13 killed Martin Luther King Sr. Oh my god. Okay, that gave me an aneurysm. The guy trashing Christianity got exposed as knowing nothing. Sorry for the confusion. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. That aligns with my priors. Oh. Ah. There. One dead. Come here. Bastard keeps breaking my lock on. There's so freaking many of these bastards. Oh, well, I mean, some conspiracy theorists don't hate God. You're right that most of them really, really do, but not all of them. Some are, you know, just how do I put it? It's not that they hate God. It's that they misunderstand God in a lot of cases. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists who, like I said, are Christians in some sense. They're just kind of wacky. I mean, some of them are just correct, also. That's the other thing. Like, conspiracy theory just means, theory that there is a conspiracy, right? So that's not that weird. Oh, I gotta... I see. Okay. I don't think I can go up there safely. I'm gonna try it, but I don't think so. Yeah, no. I think I have to kill it from the other side or something like that. Ugh. Things. Fuckers hit me. Okay, there's one more down. Santa Claus doesn't exist. Arius punched himself. Now that's a conspiracy theory. No, you see, it was your parents who punched Arius at the Council of Nicaea. Bay says, I mean, in 13 years of watching debates off and on, I've never seen anything so one-sided. He's suing his best friend, whose podcast he was on, and Huff, who beat him so badly his career is over. What? Okay, that is absolutely deranged. You're right, that's... I don't know what to make of that. More bombs, yeah. That was unnecessary, but thank you. I'm... Really? What was that? But yeah, that all... yeah, thanks, Base. That sounds utterly deranged. Of course, this is mostly based on your description of the matter, so I can't say too much, really, with much authority, but that sounds absolutely insane. They just... Oh, shoot. Really? There. Alright, there we go. I don't like that. It's gonna hit me. It's not gonna hit me? Oh, yep, here we go. Okay, the other one's gonna hit me. Oh, shoot. How do I do this? I forget. That wasn't it. Oh, God. Okay. I think I have to dodge it and then... That didn't work at all. Okay, no. A bomb? Is that when I need to bomb it? I mean, at least this vaguely represents armor as working against swords. That didn't help at all. God! Spinner? Anyway. He says, though, as any lawyer would advise you, if you're involved in a lawsuit, shut up. Billy had a 3-hour live stream making excuses and ranting about the whole thing, so even that's ruined. Oh, good. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Oh, no, whoops. Too far. Way too far. Snow Peak. Here we go. Let's see them. Got Bomblings. Got the Howling Stone. Howling Stone. Yeah. Wait for the pumpkin. Good pumpkin soup. Cannons. Here we go. The knight in the room north of the courtyard has the ball and chain. Use the claw shot to grapple over him as he draws near. Then run from him and dodge as he swings the ball towards you. Have your sword be at the ready. Run to the other side of the knight when he reels the ball in and strike his tail. I didn't even see he had a tail. Anyway, cool. Lawyer, plead the fifth before I plead the second. That's genuinely really funny. I'm sorry. Oh, God. Good thing I have frickin' berries. There's his frickin' tail. Okay, so he does have unarmored and one unarmored element of himself. God. Oh, Jesus. Wait, no, not that. Okay, so I don't have any more potions. That's fine. Or soup. There we go. Okay. Whew. Hi, Roman. Welcome. Good evening. Merry Christmas. Got him, boss. Yep. GG. Finally. Okay. First of all, my bones hurt. I mean, Link's bones, I guess, but ouchie wouchies. Yeah, here we go. Ball and chain. I think I have enough lawyer friends who would say that to a client. Plead the fifth before I plead the second. One of whom is a Texan. So, I mean, that's at least fitting. I want hearts. Very badly. Cheese! Ordon cheese, though. Tastes like, smells like back home. Alright. Oh, food again. Yeah, I had a bad feeling about this. She didn't seem very sure of herself. Oh well, let's head back and hope she had some other brilliant idea. Well, I got this nifty ball and chain, so at least there's that. That's pretty cool. Have some coffee before it gets ice cold. Already cool. Not cold yet, but it's tepid. We. Hey, back off. Come here, buddies. They're puppers. That worked. Bring it on, Pupper Doggo. Swinging the chain, swinging the chain. I like Master Betty. He still hit me, you little fucker. Rat bastard. No, it's not a rat, but still. Yeah, I guess interested to see. I can make no promises whatsoever to watch the whole thing. I don't love cringe. Contrary to what you might think. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to follow the whole thing, but, you know. Now, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do I remember being able to, like, hurl the ball and chain, or put the ball and chain in one of these cannons and launch myself with it? Or am I insane? Or am I utterly misremembering? Please don't be more wolves. I hate wolves. There. They're too far. Okay. That said, however, I do love to see an anti-theist get utterly wrecked. That is a good, nice thing to do. That's a nice thing to watch. I used to watch a whole lot of those style debates back when they were really popular, with like William Lane Craig and such. Who, don't get me wrong, was pretty great. Like, he's pretty great against atheists. That's kind of the thing. Hey. Ow. Interesting. How do I fix that problem? Huh. Well, first of all, I'm going to get more hearts, so that's what I'm going to do. Atheist when God himself invented debate. Yeah, I mean, come let us reason together, right? Needs more punch. What? Good smell. What you have, huh? Great, thanks. Perfect ingredient, huh? I want to make the soup. I really want to make the soup. A little more time on fire. It become gourmet soup, huh? Here, taste. Like, I really want to make this soup now. It's a fish, pumpkin, and cheese soup. Not enough. Superb soup. I do love cheesy soups. Cheesy soups are good. Pumpkin soup is good. I've never combined the two. I have made a pumpkin soup based off of the pumpkin soup in Skyward Sword, which is really good. It's really good. But never this. Never a fish-based one. Not that I can think of. Billy was working very hard to suppress the debate early on, so a lot of people covered the highlights. I'll post that. Oh, okay. Highlights I can get through. I can get through highlights. I might be able to get through the whole thing, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, wait, Puff Puff, you're gonna have to explain that a little bit. Sleeping soundly soundly secure in the knowledge that we all suffer because of intelligent design. Do you mean that we all suffer and that is part of God's design? Or do you mean that we all suffer because of intelligent design theory and that the theory causes us suffering? Like, which is it? Because I could see both of those, either of those being somewhat plausible. All my homies love faith-based systems of belief. Yeah, yes, but also faith and reason coincide and build upon each other, so I don't think that, I'm not a presuppositionalist or anything like that. So there's that. Yes to the first. Oh, okay, fair enough. Gotcha. We designedly suffer. God is not cruel. God creates a world which is internally consistent, and that necessarily leads to suffering in some instances. That's what that means. And that suffering is ultimately made redemptive by Christ's sacrifice, which is the other uniquely Christian answer to the question. That part requires faith, right, rather than simply, deductive knowledge. Reason. I think I remember, we put key in nearby room, so no forgetting, I forget. Embarrassing, See? Here. Place marked by symbol, Okay, but like, now, it there. It must be, you look for me. Okay. I assume I'm gonna need some of the... Oh, here we go. Some of these cannonballs. I don't know if I'm gonna need all 3 of the cannonballs, but... I should have done the thing. We'll get the other one, too. And the one more. I don't feel like lugging the other one all the way over here. Seems like a pain in the butt. Imagine how easy it would be for God to make you rich, and yet he doesn't? Well, of course not. What would that involve, specifically? Imagine being mortal and having to put in effort because an omnipotent being wants you to learn a lesson. It's not so much that. So let me put it this way, and this is an underutilized theodicy, but it's the correct one largely for most of these issues. Supposing that God were to intervene so as to directly intervene. So as to avoid any case of human or even, let's just stick to human suffering, and let's ignore animal suffering for the moment. Although a lot of atheists don't ignore animal suffering; they think that that's crucially important. Some of them are, like Alex O'Connor, are crazy enough to account animal suffering as important as human suffering, which is deranged. Cool. All right. Anyway, so the point though is that nice. Point though is right that suffering is as a result of the world being orderly and predictable. If God were to intervene every time a human being were about to suffer in any way, we could not, in any meaningful sense, do science. We couldn't study the world. Because in trying to study the world, we would be doing things that would cause at least some kind or some minor degree of suffering, right? It would be essentially impossible to do really anything. Simply because to do something involves interacting with a stable, consistent world and interacting with things that could cause suffering. And if you can't measure the consistent qualities of things, even things which could, in theory, cause suffering, then you can't understand them to build things. And so that would cause further suffering. Oh yeah, hey, Imsimp. Yeah, everything's doing great, actually. The kids actually, well, two of the kids, the older kids, and by older I mean 4 and 6, which is really impressive if you think about it, actually stayed up till midnight, and we went outside and watched some fireworks around the neighborhood, and then went to bed all peacefully and quietly. Oh no, I'm actually doing okay in this dungeon so far. Decently, at least. Okay. Let's take this one up. Okay, so that way. Shoots north. It's gotta be right. Never mind. Okay. Gotta shoot it across. In that case. Maybe. It's gonna hit those blocks and not go anywhere. Yeah, okay, afraid of that. Alright, that means I somehow need to get those blocks out of there. Excuse me. There's a keyhole there. Oh my god. That worked. You little pecker. There we go. Smoky. Good. Not what I was looking for just yet, but okay. It'll do us. I really want to not fall to my death. So let's go this way. Anyway, the theodicy of the consistency of the world, or the discoverability of the world, the coherence of the world, or any of these, whatever you want to call them, this is, I think, one of the strongest theodicies, contra the problem of suffering. Oh, hey. One of those. Dead. Nice. Ah! Shoot. Darn it. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. Imsim says, intriguing video on Islam the other day postulates that Islam wasn't a new innovation by Muhammad. Really? That's a new one. But rather a Christian heresy mixed with Arab pagan practices, like circling the Kaaba. Or is it Kaaba or is it Kaaba? I'd always heard Kaaba. I do know that it's not original. It is largely a Christian heresy. It's just that it was originated by Muhammad. That Muhammad was essentially a Christian heretic. That yeah, it was largely derived from a form of Christianity, but that form of Christianity was heretical. And blink. Ah! Can't believe that worked. Imsim says apparently Arab pagans use the Kaaba or the Kaaba as a temple for multiple deities. Muhammad destroyed all the other statues, and it was apparently built by Abraham and Ishmael. He was cleansing it. Interesting. Okay. I mean, to be fair, we did that with the Pantheon. The Pantheon's a church, if you didn't notice. It wasn't originally. Alright, nice. I'll take that. Actually, wait, you know what? No. I'm gonna do something else first. Real quick. Because I need to drop down that hole in the floor. Because I think there's another piece of heart or something down here. Uh-huh. Yeah, see? Look at that. Yep, piece of heart. I was right. Now what, though? Oh! Jesus. Wrong button. Ah. Uh-huh. Bay says, I also heard a good one about fallen angels being responsible for animal suffering pre-fall. That was interesting. Maybe. I would just say that the fall is responsible for animal suffering pre-fall. That nothing about God requires that causality only flow in one direction. I'll just leave it at that. That the fall had echoing effects through all of history, forward and backward. Which is, I believe, not origin. One of the church fathers had this one. I don't think it was origin. I know Augustine considers it, but he wasn't the one I was thinking of, really. But yeah, at least one of the church fathers seriously considers the idea that that the causality of the fall goes both directions in time. Goes both forward and backwards in time. Gotcha. Imsim says, I've been reading a lot about Islam lately. There exist many parallels with Mormonism, an angel being bringing new scripture that contradicts previous Christian teachings and the gospel. Yeah, I think there are. There's enough parallels to be interesting, certainly. My hot take about that, about Mormonism and Islam, is that Islam is actually closer to Christianity than Mormonism. That Mormonism is on the other side of Islam, because it is not properly monotheistic like Islam is. Mohammedans actually worship God. Mormons, strictly speaking, worship a creature. that they think of as that than which an overeater can be thought. But, well, they don't actually think of that than which an overeater can be thought. They think of as their particular god of their particular state of being. Universe, if you will. I don't like using the term universe in this context, but it's fine. Minimally fine. Oh ho ho. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. Okay, how do I do this? First of all, this can go... This can't move, can it? Shoot. Oh. Well... Okay, then. I thought that was just going to shatter. Okay, silly me. All right, cool. In that case, what do? Let me think this through. So, that goes there. Push this one across. That one goes there. Yeah, that might work. Okay, cool. I got a concept of I have the start of a plan. This might be a mistake. No, come on, man. I'm getting weird input lag here. Hold on. Okay, I had a... Shoot. Ooh. Everything is chugging. I'm gonna save real quick before everything goes horribly wrong. And I might call it tonight. Because I'm having issues at this point. Alright, I'll wait right here for a minute, and I'll see if everything clears up on my screen end. What in the world? Ooh, okay. Well, in that case, I might, you know, it's 11:30 anyway. We're not going to finish this temple tonight, I don't think. Unfortunate. That's okay, though. That's okay. We will finish it next week. How about that? Then we'll move on to whatever else. In any case, especially due to the insane level of jittering that's going on with my computer here, I apologize sincerely, and I guess I'm going to call it a night there. Baze, I will say that okay, so you're bringing a lot of Imsip and Baze are both bringing up some really interesting stuff here about Mormonism, about the interaction between the various, call them Abrahamic faiths. I'd be happy to pick this up in the Discord. Throw it into the religion channel, and we can keep this chat up going. After I might need to reset my computer or something, because I'm having issues. As you can probably tell, I can't tell if it's jittery going through. I don't know how my audio is doing, but anyway, we'll try this again next week. Anyway, thank you all for joining me so much. I will see you all next time, and remember, don't be safe, be well, and more importantly, be good, and have a Merry Christmas. Good night. Uh-oh. Might not be able to stop. What happened to my taskbar? Okay, hold on. I can do this. I might not be able to end. I might be stuck with you all forever. Maybe not. Okay, thank you. Good night. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.